Welcome back for day 28 of my 31 Days of Halloween series. Inspiration for this look stems from my love for different skulls. I think there's just something so beautiful about them. And yes, I'm fully aware of how strange that sounds. Product details and all that fun stuff will be in the video description below. Let's get started. I love how I made this nifty background that you only see for about 2 seconds. Like the vast majority of my looks, I made sure I grabbed some reference material to start off, grabbing various skulls that are human and animal as well. Even though I paint over this in a few minutes, I like taking a white eyeliner and mapping out a general guideline of what I want. Oh, and I also brow blocked really quick, but you've seen that so many times already, so I didn't think it was necessary to include that again. Then I mixed some white, yellow, and light brown body paint together to make this kind of dusty skull color. And I applied that all over in places that there would be skull. Logic. So I painted all over my face where there's going to be bone, except for my teeth, because I want those to be more of a pure white. I then took a tan body paint and swiped it on my upper and lower lids to start defining that socket area. And then to create more of a rounded effect, I took some white body paint, dabbed that in the center of my eyelid, and blended that out a little bit before taking some brown eyeshadow and adding some depth to the socket of my eye. Don't forget to apply some on your lower eyelid as well. I also set the eyelid with some white eyeshadow and powdered the rest of my face. I then decided I wanted more of a brighter highlight on my brow bone, so I took some more white body paint and applied that and blended it out. And you can powder that as well. Then to create even more depth, I took a darker gray eyeshadow, or darker brown eyeshadow, and added that as close to the socket line as possible. The next step is to take that white body paint again and fill in the teeth. Now you want to start creating more dimension and more shading on the actual skull itself. So just taking a dark brown eyeshadow, I'm creating some random shadow lines, as well as creating a softer shadow on my nose. Then I lined my waterline with the same white liner pencil I used before. As I was doing this makeup, I decided I wanted the Reaper to look more sad, almost as if he didn't really want to do his job of reaping. So I used some shadow around his brow bone to make it look like he was a little bit more upset. So the intricate designs I decided to use on the skull were heavily inspired by an artist I found on Instagram, actually. I'll put his IG handle in the description, but it's MF Hostile. His work is so freaking rad, I'm sure you'll enjoy it as much as I do. Anywho, I'm just creating little teardrop designs on my forehead and cheeks. I'm also creating a couple highlights on the face as well. And the center of the lid again. As for shading the rest of the features, it's basically the same process as before. You're going to want to take some dark gray eyeshadow and just slightly shade around all the teeth and the gum line. And then I also shaded the teardrop designs as well, but only really on the underside of them. The final step I did on the face is add a few highlights here and there on the teeth, on the gums, and on the designs as well. To create the negative space around the skull, you're just going to want to take some black body paint and carefully outline it. I like using a really tiny paintbrush to do the work around the teeth. And then you're going to want to use a bigger and flatter paintbrush to outline the rest, and then a bigger one to fill it all in. I would recommend taking your time with this part because if you screw up, then you screw up. And it's a lot harder to cover black than it is to cover white. The absolute final step for this look is to take some little pearl gemstones I got from the dollar store and glue them onto your face wherever you see fit with some eyelash glue. And there you have it. You can now suck the souls out of everybody. See you guys tomorrow.